Let's see. Linda McLean is an award-winning and critically acclaimed songwriter, author, creative arts mentor, and yoga practitioner. She's maintained a professional independent artist career through decades of recording, writing, teaching, and performing, has written over 50 original songs, produced 4 albums, and has toured 2 internationally distributed CDs. Betty's Room and No Language. As a writer, Linda won the Atlantic Writers Creative Nonfiction Prize and the Alistair MacLeod Mentorship Program. She has written books and stories, including the soon-to-be-published Rebirth, The Importance of Being Important, a memoir with 12 recorded songs to amplify each chapter. She's also the author of Mining for Gold, Lyric Writing, Tap into Your Source of Creativity and Write Great Songs, a guidebook based on her successful lyric writing classes. For over a decade, Linda was a professional actor and acting teacher, then did a Master's of Education degree specializing in holistic learning before becoming a professional musician. In 2012, along with 2 songwriting colleagues, Linda created a Women's Music Weekend, a biannual retreat to teach song, writing music, performance, and personal empowerment to women through song and community.
How did I get all that done?
She writes, performs, and offers online songwriting sessions to small groups and individuals, as well as creates and leads customized creative recovery workshops. Her current performance project is Lyrics and Letters, a synthesis of reading and songs. You can see her website there in the bio. Thank you, Linda, for adjusting and being on the flow. If you want to play behind me for the rest of the day,
Who wrote that?
I would be totally on board.
Sorry, what did you say?
If you wanted to play behind me all day today, I would be totally on board.
Play.
Have fun. Thank you.
Thanks. Harmony Bazaar has become like family to me. When I was invited to come, I thought, oh, this is great. I love the songwriting workshops for sure. And I love that I try out some new things. So before lockdown, before everything went crazy, I was in Europe working on this show that I'm going to do for you that I'm calling Lyrics and Letters. And it is a combination of just short readings from my book and then a song that kind of reflects a bit of the theme that's in that chapter of the book. So I'm going to take you on a little journey and play the songs for you. And it's a bit of an experiment. I haven't done it for about a year and a half, but we'll work on it. We'll see how it goes. How are you guys doing? Do you need water? I'm like half an hour early, so if somebody was going to come and see me, hello, I'm on. All right, this is from chapter 1. I need my glasses, sorry. You are the most important person in the room, and if you don't know that, you should. We were halfway through Tanya's body mindfulness workshop when she said it, and the words sounded so strange and wrong, I thought I must have misheard. I looked around to see if anyone else found it a weird thing to say. There are 20 other people in this room. How can I be the most important one? The concept made no sense, and it was irritating, like an itch you can't find to scratch. At some point between rolling on the floor and sitting up on an inhale, I decided I didn't hear her correctly, because we can't all be the most important person in the room. And near the end of the workshop, as we each sat with one hand on the shoulder of the person in front of us and the other on our hearts, I decided I'd have to have a chat with Tanya before I left to set her straight. But Tanya reassured me I'd heard her correctly. I say it all the time, she said. Whenever a client comes in all weighed down by their burdens, she made her body slump, I say to them, you're the most important person in the room, and that perks them right up. I nodded, not really understanding, and said, okay, thank you, and left. But that strange statement that she'd made kept popping back into my mind, and the next day, when I wrote the words down and sat back and stared, the words stared back, like alien entities trying to communicate. Most important, I thought, and shook my head. I don't think so, lady. So, this song is called Almost Alien, and I'm going to have to clip my papers together so they don't fly away. This is a song I wrote. It's on my No Language album, but I've re-recorded all these so they're more acoustic. I'm taking down those pictures. I'm throwing out those clothes. They're reminding me of stories I can't hear again. I'm ending years of making so much pain, and I will stare into the endless night, warm my skin in candlelight and feel so strange. Almost alien. Almost alien. Feel so free. See myself getting stronger every day. Like I know everything and more than I can say. That past is gone. I'm living for today, and I will stare into the endless night, warm my skin in candlelight and feel so strange, almost alien. Almost alien. Almost alien. To be so free. Oh, I feel so free. Well, thank you so much. I'm going to read you a little section from chapter 3. So what happened was when I tried to figure out why am I not the most important person in the room, I started digging back into my history a little bit. And here's some of what came out. Whoops. Sorry. The wind. Chapter 3, from Big Bad Beginnings. The quality of those circumstances into which we are born, the sounds and smells and shapes of them, that's what embeds in our cells. It imprints our entirely impressionable and vulnerable child mind with the information needed to survive and negotiate the world. That impression is carved into our very soul. How likely is it then that we can ever change? The setting I grew up in darkened as the years went on, and the veiled and muted foreboding became a dense, bottomless despair buried in the underbelly of our house, lurking like poison gas under the linoleum, ready to combust at the least sign of battle. It occurred to me once when I was 4 years old that my parents had forgotten that they loved each other. I thought that if only they'd remember, they wouldn't need to fight ever again. One evening, as their argument rose in volume, I thought it was a perfect time to let them in on my realization and ran into the kitchen. They were standing a few inches apart, my mother foaming at the mouth, my father snarling back. I hesitated for a moment, but I was so sure I had the answer that they needed. I carried on and stood as close as I dared and yelled at the top of my lungs, "Stop!" They ignored me completely and kept fighting. I stomped my feet and screamed even louder, "Stop it!" For the split second they looked down at me, I had my chance, but I hadn't worked out the exact words to say, and it took me a moment to collect my thoughts. I tried to stall by using the reasonable voice my mother sometimes used. I said, "Please, listen to me," but I was too slow, and they turned back to each other and carried on shouting. I threw my body between them and made one last effort. Listen to me. Finally, my mother leaned down, picked me up, and plunked me a few feet away from her. Go, she said. She didn't look at me and carried on yelling at my father. I stood there, a tiny child, invisible, heartbroken, humiliated, frustrated. My brother Rowan came into the room and put his arm around me and gently coaxed me away. Why do they do it? I asked between sobs. But he only shrugged and shook his head. I'd failed. I wasn't strong enough or smart enough to remind them about love. That night, like every night when they fought, no one tucked me in. I crawled into my bed and sucked my thumb and waited for my body to feel numb and heavy and drift into nothingness. But the song that I'm going to sing with that happy moment is called All the Love. And this is a song that I've written. I have recorded it, but I think you can only hear it. It's kind of, I don't know where it is. Oh, maybe it's on Bandcamp or somewhere like that. It's not on Spotify yet. We haven't really recorded it with the full band. But it will be on the record with my book. Ha! Hello? Linda, wake up. Body knows, mind forgets this life. Why? Sorry, I'm going to start this again. I love this song. I know. Thank you. Thank you. That's the beauty of Harmony Bazaar. Oh, my God. All right, I got to get the feel here. All of the love, where all of the love, body knows, mind forgets this life rises with the sun. This light cracks that code, moves so closer to the night that's older than these stars, endless night. Where all of the love is, where all of the love. I'll pull these words out of my head, I'll push these feet on ground and fear. Don't be so sure you've won first light. I'm gone where all of the love is, where all of the love is, where all of the love is, where all of the love. All the love, all the love. You're standing alone out on some edge, can't step in. Thank you. Thanks a lot, guys. So appreciative. Amazing. Well, we're going to skip very far forward to chapter 8 in my life. And I called it, Take All Your Clothes Off. I know. But listen. In the back of my mind, I still carried the hope that Andy, my husband, at that point, maybe a year into our relationship. Sorry, I should have set that up for you. So I'd had one bad marriage and finally found a person who was a nice person. So we had been together for about a year. And in the back of my mind, I still carried the hope that Andy would read it and tell me that I should sing professionally. I waited and waited and finally had to face the fact that he would never in a million years presume to tell me how to live my life. I'd say, I don't know what to do. What should I do? And he'd say, well, aren't you doing it? You're teaching, you're doing some acting. Yeah, I said, but it's not enough. What else should I do? And he'd say, what does it matter what I think? It's up to you. I'd pout. And I'd think, if he really loved me, he would be able to read my mind. And when I was exhausted from self-reproach and at my most desperate to be saved, I'd think, can't he see how sad I am? How I'm suffering? If he loved me, he wouldn't want me to suffer like this. I've been able to trust Andy enough to tell him everything, all my secrets, except the one that I cared about the most, that I really wanted to be a singer. I've been able to share with him the things I'd never told another living soul, the ins and outs of my struggles and woes. I could sob myself into a puffy, snotty mess and reveal deep truths and choke on my words and cry and let all the layers unravel. But I could not say the words, I want to sing. When Andy responded to my tears with things like, I just want you to make yourself happy. You can do that, whatever you want to make yourself happy. And I would feel annoyed. I couldn't explain it to him. How could I explain that those words, it's up to you, didn't make sense? That I didn't know what it meant to do what makes me happy? And that the very thought that what I did with my life was up to me was an utterly foreign concept. So, this is a song that I wrote. It's on my Also No Language album. And it's called How Strong Is Your Sorrow? And I always, when I wrote it, I thought, this is about my brother. But later on, I realized, wow, songs really do heal us. And this was not a song about my brother. This was about me. Yeah, the thoughts you will not speak out, crashing into your brain. The words are gathering at your door. Shadows sinking to start another day. We've come to watch you rise and fall. How long now? How long can you fake it? How strong is your sorrow? You've been working now and you always get your pay. You've been hiding it all away. You've been a writer in your own mind, buried up in your room. Like a dog, you're howling at the moon. Only dancing to a fool up on the hill. You're singing 99, you won't catch me today. strong is your sorrow? You've been working now and you always get your pay, but you've been hiding it all away. You've been hiding it all away. You've been hiding it all away. How long can you hide away? How long can you fake it? How long, how long? How long, how long? Thank you. Thanks, guys. Thanks so much. This has been so great. This is my last little chapter here. It's from chapter 10. And I can't remember what I called this one. Something really cool, though. Like, amen. Can I get an amen or something cool? So this is like chapter 10, 2 chapters after chapter 8, where I hadn't admitted that I wanted to sing. And everything had changed. I had decided that I needed, if I didn't start writing songs, I was going to turn into broccoli. That's literally what happened. So I went through and I just became that songwriter that I'd always wanted to become, and that's all in the book. But here's what happened then. My attitude had changed entirely. From someone too afraid to whisper my dreams, even to myself, to a singer-songwriter with a great CD and a record label. Was it universal divine energy doing its job? Was this the natural progression of things because I'd showed up and did the work? Whatever explained it, the fact was, from this time forward, I could never not be what I'd become, a professional musician. I had all the proof needed to know that the universe had my back. Fear would have no more hold on me. From now on, I told myself, no more doubt, forever and ever. And ever? Attitudes might change, but our old patterns run deep. Inside, I was still the raging, rebellious teenager, sure the world was out to get me, defending my heart from ever being broken again. There was a constant self-doubt that raised its hackles every time I was on stage and someone complimented my music or my performance, and I'd think, they're making it up. They're just being polite. These thoughts were the dark forces that I dragged around with me, even as I chose to stand in my own light, and kept me believing that I was at odds with the world. They didn't make any sense juxtaposed to my day-to-day experience, but I couldn't get rid of them. Instead, what I learned to do when they rose to the surface was talk them down, suppress them, yell at them, and tell them who was boss. Sorry. I'm a songwriter. I'm in the driver's seat now, so all you negative thoughts, you sit there and be quiet. Betty's Room was released in Europe that fall. The label had arranged a promotional tour that included a few interviews and performances on TV and radio and some live shows. The day I arrived in the Netherlands, I went to the Vara station to do my first interview, and when Mart Smeet, a very famous guy in the Netherlands, asked, "How do you find the inspiration for your songs?" I'd responded without thinking, "I close my eyes and pray," I said. And Mart replied, "Good answer, good answer." But now thinking back to that response, though I'd believed it to be relatively close to the truth, it wasn't. I'd never prayed for inspiration for my songs. I didn't need to seek inspiration because the songs were always there, in me, waiting for me to pay attention, waiting for me to listen. So this is my last song, and before I do it, I just want to again shout out to those ladies who were in the workshop who blew my mind and my heart wide open. Thank you so much again, Julie and Terry and Amber and Connie. So when I was thinking about this little set that I was going to do, I thought about you guys, and I thought, I'm going to do that song that I wrote to really inspire people to write their songs. And that's what the song's called, Write Your Song. But then I realized, you don't need inspiration. You guys, it's all there. Just keep going. But I'm going to do this for anybody else who's out there who has a song they want to write, or a story they want to tell, or a painting that they want to paint, or a thing they want to say to somebody that they haven't yet said. Just find your way, please. We need you. Better look for the tempo. Hold on. All right, let's see how it goes. Recognize any songs in the lyrics of this song. His bags are packed. He's in a coupe de ville, heading down to Music Row to be king of the hill. Rings of fire, bands of gold. He was busted flat on Copperhead Road. Yes, some life works out, some life hurts like hell. Some will find you, and then your heart breaks. You only have this moment, then it's gone. So baby, write your song. Even when the words come out all wrong. She's a leaving home in a hurricane. One step forward, two steps back in the hard rain. It doesn't have to be the day the music dies. You play for free, there's nowhere to run, nowhere to hide. Some life works out, some life hurts like hell. Love might find you, and then your heart breaks. You only have this moment, then it's gone. So baby, write your song, even when the words come out all wrong. California dreaming on a Wichita line. You'll be a joker, you'll be a gambler, you'll be the fool. You'll win, you'll lose. Yes, some life works out, some life hurts like hell. Love might find you, and then your heart breaks. You only have this moment, then it's gone. So baby, write your song, even when the words come out all wrong. Baby, write your song, even when the words are all wrong. Baby, write your song, even when the words come out all wrong. Thank you so much. Thank you, sound people. Thank you, Harmony Bazaar. I'm Linda McLean. Connect with me on my website, lindamclean.com, or come on over to Avondale, where I live, and say hi.